real convenient of everybody all of a sudden to just decide that the government and the politicians, and the lobbyists, the banksters uh, are all corrupt and work through secret channels for their own personal gain and seeking their own selfish agendas. You know, I guess it's better late than never, right? So I'm not going to bitch much more about y'all uh, because one thing that I've learned in and out of treatment programs is personal accountability, putting yourself in the other person's position. And I've had the time to study all the shit that I've studied and to think about all the shit that I think about and to come up with the ideas that I have and to be able to see through the the veils of smoke and mirrors that is thrown up for us in the media and stuff because I've had a lot of time just sitting around doing drugs because I'm a junkie. Um, you know, it's very reasonable to conclude that, you know, the general mass of our population doesn't have the time to sit around and read books on social politics and, you know, psychology and the effects of drug addiction on the mind and body and or read history books and connect the dots between regimes and, you know, identify the same globalist financiers behind each and every revolution that has come our way since the French Revolution. It's the same people. The same people that are behind the centralized banking are the same people that have funded every uprising since the French Revolution. They usually use things like racism, money, um, women's rights, things like that, because they know that those are soft spots. Because, I mean, naturally, when you beat a person up over something for so long, that's a soft spot. I know more than anyone. And you know, the patriarchal order, you know, conditioned us for a very long time to think that women were weak and that money was necessary, and you know, that we didn't know any better for ourselves than what they could tell us. And so, you know, all that's weak spots. And then race is always a very soft spot for people. And I guess it's fortunate for you people that have not had the time to study because you're punching that time clock and doing responsible things like taking care of your kids and paying your bills and stuff like that. It's very fortunate for you that every now and then a junkie like me comes along that spends most of his time while he's locked up as a result of his substance abuse problems reading. And I can let you know first off, women are definitely not weak. In fact, long before it was scientifically proven that women were psychologically and emotionally superior to the male, um, ancient cultures worshipped women. You know, that was their religion. The religion of ancient paganism was pretty much just worship of the goddess through the woman. I mean, the woman was boss. They put the pussy on a pedestal. So women are definitely not weak. So you have to take that thorn out of your side. Stop letting that bother you, because when you march in the streets with your signs and your militant feminist slogans, all you're saying to me is that you're insecure about who you are. You're not comfortable in your skin. Um, Racism. Man, I talked about this yesterday. I ended up deleting all those videos from yesterday because what I'll get to here in a little bit, uh, there was more behind the anger in those posts than what was evident at first. And so me holding myself accountable, uh, take those down, explain what was really going on. That's in the next video. That's not this one. But, you know, racism. Come on, guys. We should have never bought into that to begin with. because even the biggest fool can tell that we all bleed red. We all need air to breathe. We need water to quench our thirst. We need food to get strong. You know, I'll just say it one more time for this specific video. The only thing that separates us as a human species from each other is what's up here and what's in here. It's not the color of our skin. That's just geology. It's where our ancestors migrated to, where they lived, where those genes survived, mutated, and replicated. In those areas, that skin developed the tissues that were necessary for survival in those environments. So if you think that we're different because of the way that your skin might be darker than mine, I highly encourage you to read a book. And the other one, sexual preference, that's always been another one that they throw out there. I mean, if you want to go fuck another dude, go fuck another dude. That's not my business. Just don't bring it my way. When you're out there in the streets, closing down the streets, keeping people from getting back and forth to work, to their homes, and doing the things that they need to do during the day to get by, they got to put that on hold because you want to march down the streets with your rainbow flags and shit, you know, shouting your pride. You know, all you're telling me is you're not comfortable in your skin, that you're insecure with who you are, and you want to tell all of us that you're okay with yourself. And stinger for you, the people that propagandize us through the media with political correctness. That's exactly what they want you to do, because they need those social tensions to rise, to create the environment necessary for them to come in and establish order. Ordo ab chaos. That's all I'm going to talk on any of that. Get that out of the way, because the real message here is about recovery, because that's the real pandemic. Substance abuse problems, untreated mental health issues. That's the pandemic, and it's not anything new. It's been going on for a long time, and it's not a natural side effect of who we are and how we live. It's been forced upon us by the system of government that has enslaved us with their greedy agenda to put themselves upon a throne above us as our rulers, to make us subservient to them, to make us work for them. And they sell us drugs. That's their biggest profit. And then they jam up any kind of potential treatment system, any kind of method of appropriate correction for criminals to keep that money coming in, to keep the chains around our neck. The government conspiracy is not the coronavirus. The government conspiracy is the war on drugs in the industrial correctional complex. That's the government conspiracy against us. And it's been going on for a long time, y'all. Long time. So I'm glad that y'all's eyes are open, however it happened. Now for me, personal accountability. I'm done bitching and griping about the government. I got that shit out of my system. I got it out of my system at all the people that was on here, you know, with all their do-gooder bullshit, telling me how much they love me and they cared for me and they wanted me to do the right thing and turn myself in last winter when the police was going in everybody's house looking for me, telling the people that really do love me that if they catch me before I turn myself in, they was going to shoot me dead. And my family ain't making that shit up. Wasn't no protests out there for me. You know why? Because I'm a honky from Western Kentucky. According to the propaganda that they are feeding you people, I'm the enemy. If you were out here in these woods hungry, had nowhere to go, I'm that motherfucker that'll feed you. Just so you know. There wasn't no protests for me, and I've been getting beat up by these cops my whole life. I'm done talking about it. It's over with. The issue here is substance abuse, untreated mental health issues, behavior modification cannot take place, cannot even begin until a forced remission is achieved with the addict. What that means is they have to be locked away from the drugs that have enslaved them for at least 90 days to force a detox, because those drugs are in the system. That blood and the neurotransmitters in the brain are dependent upon that drug to get that feeling, and without it, it's pure misery. Pure misery. Unless you're a junkie that's ever had to experience that, you really don't understand it, and it's very easy for you to say it's all about choice. Well, it is about choice, but it's about the choice to just let go and allow something greater than yourself to make that decision for you. And I've never been able to do that, because I've always thought that I was the greatest. And then even as I got a little older and I knew I wasn't the greatest, I wasn't going to back down. I done said what I said. I was my own God. I didn't need God. In fact, I thought God was a bully. Still kind of do, but that's between me and God. What I do know is I ain't him, and I can't say no without help. And so that's what the struggle is about. It's not about the coronavirus. It's not about that fucking mask they're making you wear. It's not about your money that's about to change. It's not about your government that is about to change. It's not about your healthcare system, which is definitely about to change. It's not about your technology, which is about to start telling you what to fucking do. It's about being okay with who you are and having the ability to know that you're okay without that extra push, without that chicken bone, without that blunt. So I'm fighting tooth and nail out here just trying to get a bed in rehab. I'm out on bond. Can't even get into a rehab right now. Why don't y'all put the Black Lives Don't Matter on hold for a little bit, because we all matter. Stop worrying about that coronavirus shit, because it's not. It's the flu. It is a genetically modified version of the flu. And yeah, if you're old and you're already sick because of poor decisions that you've made, or you're sick because you have bad health and you're old or something like that, yeah, it's bad for you. But so is getting in that car and driving down the road and going around the corner and the dude on the other side of the lane being in your lane. Y'all stressing over the smoke, and you can't see who's standing behind the mirror. They got you distracted while they're pumping these streets full of methamphetamine, while they're pumping these streets full of heroin. Our soldiers are over in Afghanistan guarding the plants that it takes to make the heroin. And our streets are flooded with MS-13 cartel members that get away with whatever they want. That's your conspiracy.